Continuation of topic light. Last time we discussed about the nature of the light, and we said it is having a dual nature. Means the light can behave like a particle, it can behave like a wave. Like interference, polarization, these are the characteristic of the wave. And light can have a particle nature as well, like photoelectric effect, line spectrum. Uh, this shows that the light is having a particle nature. So when light is acting like a wave, it is electromagnetic wave. Without a medium, it can travel. And if it is acting like a particle, the particle of the light is known as photon. And energy of the photon, if we want to find the energy of the photon, that is given by E is equals to hf, or E is equals to hc divided by wavelength or lambda. These are the two formulas which we can use to find the energy of the photon. E is equals to hf or E is equals to hc over lambda. So today's topic, which is the photoelectric effect, in this topic, experimentally we will show that light is having a particle nature because a wave nature cannot explain this photoelectric effect, and we'll discuss the reason why the wave nature cannot explain this photoelectric effect. What is the photoelectric effect? According to this photoelectric effect, when light strike the metal surface, but light in the form of particles such as photons, so when this light fall on the metal surface, the electrons will absorb these photons, and one electron absorb one photon at the time. So example, when the light falls, electron will absorb the photon and this electron will go out. When this electron will go out, because of light we'll use the term photo, and because of movement of the charge we'll use the term electric, and this effect is known as photoelectric effect, that the light falls on the metal and it will remove the electron from the metal surface. The minimum possible energy, the energy of the photon, is given by E, and the energy of and the minimum possible energy required to remove electron, that is known as work function, which is denoted by a Greek alphabet phi. So the energy which electron must have to come out, the minimum possible energy, it can have more than that, but the minimum possible energy which this electron required to go out, that is called a work function. And the energy of the photon is denoted by E. So example, the work function, the minimum possible energy for electron to go out is 20 joule, and the energy of the photon is 5 joule. Each photon is 5 joules, and there are 3 photons. Will this electron come out? The minimum possible energy required to remove electron from the metal surface, that is 20 joules, and the energy of the photon, which is incident, that is equals to 5 joules. Is there a photoelectric effect in this case? Yes or no? Will this electron come out? So there will be no photoelectric effect. Why there is no photoelectric effect? Because one electron absorbs one photon. So if electron, it will absorb this 5 joules, but that 5 joule is not sufficient to remove this electron out from the metal surface. So when the energy of the electron, when the energy of the photon is less than the work function, then there is no photoelectric effect. Means the electron is not able to come out. But when the energy of the photon is either greater than or equal to work function, then the electron will come out. For example, if we say now each photon is having a 50 joules. So when each photon is having a 50 joules, so what will happen when one electron absorbs one photon? 20 joule is it will use to come out, and remaining 30 joules will be the kinetic energy. So we can make equation here. We can say that a word equation, that energy of the photon is equals to the work function plus the kinetic energy. So energy of the photon is equals to work function plus kinetic energy. Energy of the photon is given by E. The work function is denoted by phi, and the kinetic energy is denoted by Ke, which is half mv square. This equation is known as Einstein photoelectric equation. That the energy of the photon, the incident photon is E, minimum energy required to remove electron is phi, and the energy at which this electron will come out, that is known as the kinetic energy of this electron. So E is equals to phi plus Ke. Is it clear? This equation, the Einstein photoelectric equation. So we can simply say, like this is a metal surface, a photon is there, and when the light is there, like you don't have one photon, there will be many photons, and each will have a fixed amount of energy. That is why we say photons have quantized energy, or light particles having a fixed energy. So example, the work function is equals to 15 joules, and energy of each photon is equals to 4 joules. Is there a photoelectric effect in this case? And metal is having lot of electrons, free or delocalized electron. Is there a photoelectric effect? So there will be no photoelectric effect. Why? Because this electron will absorb a photon, but it is not having enough energy to come out, so it will utilize that energy and just vibrate. But another case, if we have a same metal with a work function of 15 joules, energy of the photons each is having say 20 joules. So when the light falls on the metal surface, one electron absorbs one photon, and our assumption that photon is absorbed by the electron is removed from the surface, because if I want to remove electron from inside, not at the surface, I need a different amount of energy. So minimum possible energy to remove electron from the surface, that is a work function. Because for electron which is there in the center, it need a different amount of energy. So when this will absorb, 15 joule it will use as a as a work function to come out at the surface, and remaining 5 joule it will use as a kinetic energy. But practically it is difficult to find the kinetic energy, because electron, we know the mass of electron, the rest mass of electron. The reason using a term rest mass, because when the particle is moving close to speed of the light, its mass increases. So we, relativistic effect is there. So the rest mass of electron is 9.11 exponent minus 31 kilogram. So what we can do, it's difficult to find the kinetic energy to measure the speed. So we can change this formula into another one. How we can change? Like example, this is a metal surface, and we have another electrode, and we connect this with a negative terminal and this side with a positive terminal. So what happened? And we connect an ammeter here. Initially, the switch is open. Initially, the switch is open, and the light in the form of photons fall on this metal. Example, the work function minimum possible energy required to remove electron is 15 joules. And the photon, each photon is having energy of 20 joules. So when this electron, this photon fall on the metal surface, as it hits the metal surface, it will remove the electrons out from the metal surface, because the energy of the photon is more than the work function. So yes, there will be a photoelectric effect. And what happened, because there are 3 photons, so how many electrons will come out? 3 electrons will come out, and each electron will have a kinetic energy. And how much is the kinetic energy? Each electron will have 5 joules of kinetic energy. And when these, because the switch is open, so as this electron will move towards the other plate, the movement of electron, what it will create? It will create a current. As it will create a current, an ammeter will show a reading. Now what we will do, because we want to find the kinetic energy of this electron, so we are using a concept. We close this switch, so when the switch is closed, now this is the negative terminal and this will be the positive terminal. So like charges repel each other. These electrons experience a repulsion from the negative electrode. So what this electrode will try to do, it will try to stop the electron. But at what condition it will stop? It will stop the electron when the kinetic energy of the electron balances with the electrical energy, because electrical energy or work done by the electric field or in an electric field, and the kinetic energy, when they balances with each other, the electron will not move, because electron, because of its kinetic energy, it is moving. So how much kinetic energy is there for this electron? That's 5 joule. How much electrical energy we need to stop this electron? So we need same 5 joules to stop this electron. So when the kinetic energy balances with the electrical energy, the electron will stop. The voltage at which we are able, and how we will know we are able to stop this electron? When the ammeter reading is 0. The reading on the ammeter is 0, it means the electrons are not able to reach the plate. So if electrons are not able to reach the plate, we call that, we will say at that condition the electrical energy is equals to kinetic energy. And when electrical energy equal to kinetic energy, the voltage at which the electrical energy equal to kinetic energy, we call that voltage as stopping voltage. Why we call it stopping voltage? Because at this voltage we are able to stop the electron from moving from one electrode to another. And at what condition you have stopping voltage? Stopping voltage when the electrical energy is equals to kinetic energy. And what is electrical energy? Electrical energy is voltage into charge. And what is kinetic energy? It's half mv square. This V is the voltage and the small v is the speed. So you can clearly see now the kinetic energy of the electron will be equal to voltage into charge, and voltage is easy to find. Why? Because we can simply connect a voltmeter. We'll have the voltage, and Q is the charge of electron, which is a fixed value 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So now the Einstein equation is modified. As you can see, according to Einstein equation, the energy of photon was equal to the work function plus the kinetic energy of electron. As at a stopping voltage, so when we have a stopping voltage, when we connect a stopping voltage, means a voltage at which there is no current or electron is completely stopped. So at that case, the kinetic energy of the electron is equals to electrical energy so when the kinetic and electrical energy supplied, so and we know the kinetic energy is equals to electrical energy, and electrical energy is voltage into charge. So the Einstein photoelectric equation, energy of a photon is equals to work function plus kinetic energy, which is half mv square. But now kinetic energy is equal to electrical energy, which is voltage into charge. So we can write the energy of the photon is equals to work function plus voltage into charge. Now this is practically, we can use this equation easily as compared to the kinetic energy. One reason for that, because practically it's difficult to find speed of electron, and it's easy to find the voltage at which the electron is being stopped. Is it clear, this part, the concept of the stopping voltage and the equation, how it is modified? So if we sketch a graph, like we have electrode and we have electrodes, and we connect these electrodes, and we are changing the terminals. And the light in the form of photons fall on this metal. Now we want to sketch a graph between the voltage and the current. when like positive terminal is connected to top plate and negative terminal is connected to bottom plate, that's we call a positive voltage. And when negative terminal is connected to top plate and positive terminal is connected to bottom plate, we call that as a negative voltage. Basically, negative and positive voltage shows that we change the terminal only. Like this will be +1, +2, +3, and so on. And this will be -1, -2, and -3. And on y-axis we have a current. Look, if we have an ammeter here, both cases, like we'll discuss both of them, we have an ammeter and initially the switch is open. In the beginning the switch is open and a photon of energy more than the work function falls on the metal. So initially the voltage is zero because we did not connect a supply, the switch is open. But when the energy of the photon is greater than or equal to work function, there will be a photoelectric effect. Means these charges have enough, the electrons have enough energy to come out and they move. So as these electrons start to move, there will be a current. So even when there is a voltage zero, what we will record a current. Is it clear why we are recording a current even though the voltage is zero? Because when we supply energy to, when a light incident on the metal surface, the energy of the photon is more than the work function. That's why the electron will come out, and when these electrons will come out, they start to move. They have kinetic energy which generate a current. The movement of the charges is known as the current. That's why we will record a current here even though the voltage is zero. Now, if we connect a positive plate, now we close the switch here. Positive charge terminal will attract the electron. So as it will attract the electron, as we increase the voltage, the current will increase and it will reach a saturation point. Means it will increase to some value and then it will be constant. Why the current is increasing? Because when you increase the voltage, the electron will move faster. The formula for the current is charge divided by time. The number of the electrons are not changing, and like if 3 photons are there, 3 electrons will come out, but they will take a short time to move. As they will take a short time to move, so the current will increase, but to certain point it will increase. Then there is an increase, but it is a negligible change because it's a short or a small distance, so time interval is changing but negligible change in the time interval. So it appeared that the current is a constant or we reach a saturation point. This is when we connect a positive plate up and negative plate down, means the terminal towards which the electron is moving, that is positive. Now we change the terminal and we close the switch. As we change the terminal and close the switch, so like charges repel each other. So these electrons experience the repulsion from the negative terminal. So as they experience the repulsion from the negative terminal, electron will slow down. So they will take, the number of the charges are same, which the number of the charges which are coming out are same, but the number of the charges received on the electrode will differ because they are in taking more time. So what happens as they're taking more time, so the current start to decrease, and at a certain voltage, at a certain voltage, when there is no current, a current is not able to flow at a certain voltage, what we call this voltage, we call that as a stopping voltage. Is it clear? This graph between the current and voltage. If any doubt is there, feel free to ask your question or doubts. So basically, we change the terminals, and what we observe that different stopping voltage. Observe that there is a voltage at which the current is zero, and that voltage is known as the stopping voltage. The voltage which is stopping this electron to move from one electrode to another. So what will happen to the shape of a graph? If we use photons of high energy, so the same graph, voltage and current, a positive voltage, negative, and on y-axis we have a current. So what happened when the voltage is zero? If I use high intensity or if I use more high energy photons, like example, same metal, the metal is same, but what happened? We are using high energy photons. We are changing energy of the photon. So example, the work function, the first one, the work function is 10 joule. The second one, the work function is also 10 joules because same metal is there. So 10 joules, 10 joules. So when the light falls on this metal, energy of the incident photon is say 15 joules. Energy of the incident photon is 20 joules, and energy of the incident photon is 30 joules. So what will happen when the electron will come out? When this electron will come out, it will have 5 joules of kinetic energy. When this electron will come out, 10 joules of kinetic energy, and the other electron will come out 20 joules of kinetic energy. So these electrons, as you can clearly see, they will move faster. So as this electron will move faster, if I use a high energy photon, if I say the current in the first one is I1, the current in the second one is I2, and the current in the third one is I3. So if this was I1, I1 will be smaller because why I1 is smaller? Electron is moving with a smaller kinetic energy. I2 will be higher and I3 will be much higher. But the shape and same thing to stop this one, like this is having 5 joule of kinetic energy, 10 joule of kinetic energy, and 30 joule of kinetic energy. So as different kinetic energy, I need a different stopping voltage, I need a different electrical energy. The one which is moving faster, I need more electrical energy. So shape of the graph will be identical, but they need different stopping voltages. This will be the shape of the graph. Is it clear? This one, this one will be V1, this is V2, and the third one is V3. Is it clear, this shape of the graph? By using a, and if you will, what will happen to graph if you use photons of high energy? Now what will happen to the shape of the graph? If we use same energy photons but different intensity. Different intensity means like changing the number of the photons. If we are keeping the energy of a photon same, but we are using photons with different intensities. Like here, only one photon is there, two photons, three photons. The work function, the metal is the same. This is 10 joules, say 20 joules, and 30 joules. The energy of this photon is all the photons have the same energy. Like this one is having, the work function is same. Sorry, I think I meant this is the same metal, so the work function should be same. If we change the metal, then the work function change as the structure of the metal changes. So each the metal is same, so each sample is having the same work function, say 10 joules. And the energy of the photon equal to 15 joules. Each photon is having energy of 15 joules. So when electron, because one photon is there, so one electron will come out. Here two photons, so two electrons will come out. Here three photons, three electrons will come out. And what will be the energy of each photon, each electron which will come out? Because one photon absorbed by one electron, so each photon will have each electron will have an energy of 5 joule. Because 10 is used to come out and remaining 5 is a kinetic energy. Now if we sketch the same graph for stopping voltage and current with different intensities, what we will observe, on y-axis we have a current, on x-axis we have voltage. Now if the current here which is produces I1, the current produces I2, the current produces I3. Because the number of the electrons are different, that's why they will produce a different current. I1 will be smaller as compared to I2, and I2 will be smaller as compared to I3. But when I compare the stopping voltage energy required to stop each electron, because voltage is work done per unit charge, stopping, because I need a 5 joules to stop this electron, each electron. Here also I need a 5 joule to stop each electron. So the stopping voltage, the voltage at which these electrons are stopped, that voltage will be same. So the shape of the graph, it will be like this. Is it clear? Why we need a same voltage? Because the energy of each electron having a same kinetic energy. That is why we need the same stopping voltage or same electrical energy to stop the electron. But why the current is different? Because the number of the electrons which are coming out are different. Is it clear? The shape of this graph. Why the current is increasing? Because what is the formula for current? Current is charge divided by time. So here we have one electron, two electrons, three electrons. So as we increase the intensity, it means we increase the number of photons per unit area. moving in 1 second, so the number of the charges increases, that's why the current increases. That's why I1, I2 and I3 are different. But why the stopping voltage is same? Because stopping voltage means the voltage at which the kinetic energy of electron equal to electrical energy. So each electron is having the same in these examples, each electron is having same kinetic energy, so we need the same electrical energy. As we need same electrical energy, so we need same voltage for each of them. That's why the stopping voltage is same. Is it clear, this part? And if we use different metal with different work functions, because different metals have different work function as they have different attraction toward the electron. So if we are using three different metals using a same number of photons, same energy of the photon, each metal, the photon which is incident are having the same energy. Example, the work function for metal A is 10 joules. The work function for metal B is 20 joules. And the work function for metal C is 30 joules. And the photon, each case, the energy of the photon is 50. So when the light falls on this, what will be the kinetic energy of electron when it will come out in metal A? What will be the kinetic energy? If the energy of the photon is 50 and the minimum possible energy electron will use to come out, that's 10. So what will be the kinetic energy? So it will have 40 joules of kinetic energy. Same thing, this will have 30 joules of kinetic energy. This will have 20 joules of kinetic energy. So when we sketch a graph for voltage and current, positive voltage, negative voltage, the current here is I1 for, or IA for IA means for metal A, IB means for metal B, and IC means for metal C. So here electron having a higher kinetic energy, so IA will be above, then IB will be above, IB will be below, and IA, and then IC will be there. And you can clearly see this electron having a low kinetic energy, so we need less electrical energy, so stopping voltage will be lower. Shape of the graph will be identical, but stopping voltage will be lower. So the one, like we have, this is VA, VB and VC. So relation between stopping voltage and work function, they are inverse. If work function is higher, then stopping voltage will be smaller, because if work function is higher, most of the energy used to come out, and a small amount is kinetic energy, so that's why it needs less amount of electrical energy to stop. So this is for metal A, for metal B and for metal C. Is it clear, this graph? So when we summarize, when we compare wave nature and particle nature. To explain photoelectric effect. So the points of comparison. According to particle nature, the particle nature explain the work function. Like using a particle nature, according to particle nature, it states that photon is having a quantized energy. That's why there is a fixed amount of energy required to remove electron. So particle nature actually explain work function, but wave nature does not explain work function. Why the wave nature does not explain work function? Because according to wave nature, what it states, like example, if you have a metal and a wave is carrying example 2 joules of energy, but continuously the wave is incident, continuously the wave is coming on the metal. So there a time will come when this electron will have a sufficient amount of energy, because continuously the light is falling on it. So electron will absorb this energy, and a time will come and this electron should go out. So according to wave nature, there should be no work function, means there should be no fixed energy which will remove electron. Any energy can remove electron. But according to particle nature state that if the energy of the photon is either equal to or greater than the work function, then electron will come out, otherwise electron will not come out. But according to wave nature, any wave, any energy, means any type of light can remove the electron out, because continuously the light is falling on the metal surface. So electron will absorb that energy and it will go out. But practically it does not happen. So that's why we say that wave nature is correct here, but the particle in nature is not correct. Same thing, according to particle nature, when we increase the intensity, it will increase number of electrons, but kinetic energy will remain same. This is according to particle nature. If we increase the intensity, it will increase the number of electron, but the kinetic energy will remain same. But according to wave nature, what will happen? If we increase the intensity, opposite will happen. If we increase the intensity, it will increase the so increasing the intensity, it will increase the kinetic energy, but number of electrons should be same. So according to the particle theory, as the light falls on the metal, if we increase the intensity, it means we increase the number of the photons. If greater the number of the photons, greater the number of electrons which will come out. But the kinetic energy will be same. Like example, if here each photon is having a 50 joules of energy, so and the work function is say 30 joules, so each electron will have kinetic energy of 20 joules. The kinetic energy will be same for each. That we already discussed in the previous part. But according to wave nature, when we increase the intensity, it will increase the kinetic energy, but the number of electrons should be same. What does it mean? What is the meaning of increasing intensity in the wave? Like if the light is falling on the metal surface and we increases the intensity in a wave nature. So increasing the intensity means more energy is there. Like example, first there was 2 joule, now it is 5 joule on a unit area. So if 5 joule on a unit area, so number of electrons which are there in the unit area, that is same. So 3 electrons will come out because the number of electrons on a unit area is fixed, but energy at which these electrons will come out, that should be higher. But practically this does not prove this is the right statement. So increasing the intensity will increase the number of electron, but not the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy only increases as an energy of the electron, because the term intensity here refers to how much energy is coming on unit area in 1 second. So how much energy fall on a unit area, so number of electron in a unit area is same. That is why number of electron will come out should be same. But this practically does not show, the result does not matches with this statement of the wave. So what we conclude from these things, we conclude that in a photoelectric effect, the light is having a particle nature because the wave nature is not able to explain this phenomena. Is it clear? The Einstein equation as well as the photoelectric effect. So we started with the photoelectric effect concept. There's one more graph I will share with you. I'll share another link. This session will end less than a minute.